John McCain has called for it, and so have many others. But the LA Times still will not release that videotape of Barack Obama at a 2003 farewell dinner for one-time PLO spokesman Rashid Khalidi. The Times says that it obtained the videotape from a source on condition that it would not release it. My next guest, however, doesn't buy it. Fox News contributor Bernie Goldberg is here. He is the author of Crazies to the Left of Me, Wimps to the Right, perhaps the best title in book history. Bernie, hi.
How you doing, Megan?
I'm doing great, thanks. Okay, so you sort of smelled a rat on this one from the beginning, and you were going to come on our morning program and do this segment earlier this week, and as you know, our morning program booker, Eldad Yaron, reached out to the LA Times to find out why they wouldn't release the tape before it really caught on, before it got buzz. And the LA Times said nothing to Eldad about a source. A couple days passed, then they said they had the source. Is that the only reason you smell a rat?
Well, that's an important point. I mean, if they didn't mention a source early on and only came to that a day or two later, yeah, it makes me wonder. But let's assume, for the sake of argument, that there really is a source. If there's a source and there's a confidential agreement not to release the tape, you know, I was with CBS News for 28 years, I know about this stuff, then you can't release the tape.
Right.
But news organizations are in the business of disseminating news, not suppressing news. So they should do everything in their power to talk to the source to try to get the tape released. And the source, who may be listening to us right now, should understand that this is an important piece of information, an important video. It involves a presidential election, and the source should go to the LA Times, frankly, and say it's okay to release it. You know, but one way or the other, the printed word, Megan, does not have the power of the moving picture image.
Right.
And that's why this is so important.
Right, and clearly everybody at the Times, and presumably the source, understands that as well. Let me ask you this. There's been a lot of speculation that this source may have been a Hillary Clinton supporter, because the Times published this story back in April during the primaries, and who would have a motive to get it out there, but not to the extent where you release a video that could potentially damn Barack Obama in the context of a presidential election. Does that make sense to you? It's pure speculation. I realize that, but that's what a lot of people think.
If we're only talking in the realm of speculation, I would say yes, it does make sense to me. Who would have a vested interest back in April to do this? The Hillary Clinton campaign would. I don't know if they were involved, but it would make sense. Now, the very same people, if they were involved, might not have any interest in it being released now if they want a Democrat to win over John McCain. Now, that's always been a question, whether Hillary Clinton really wants Barack Obama to win. But it comes down to the original point. The tape exists. The LA Times has it. The LA Times is in the getting the information out business, not in the suppression of information business, and they should try to figure out how to do that. And, you know, we only have a couple of days before the election, so they should get on the stick and really try to figure out how to get it out very quickly.
Bernie, do you think the tape even still exists? If the LA Times got this tape, they wrote a story about it, they made a decision that they weren't going to release it, maybe they made a decision they didn't want to release it, why would they keep it?
Well, this is even more speculation, but this is the kind of thing you're supposed to keep. I mean, news organizations are supposed to keep those kinds of documents. You keep your notes for a long time. You keep a videotape. I mean, yeah, I think if it really exists, and I'm sure it exists, I'm pretty sure they still have it.
Do you think the American public cares about this at this point? Do you think they, you know, listen, I know obviously relations with Israel are important, but, you know, the Obama camp came out and pointed to the fact that John McCain, when he chaired an organization, that organization gave money to Rashid Khalidi's organization and so on. I mean, it's all this back and forth. Does it resonate with these voters?
No, that's a very good question, a very good point. I don't think at this late date it matters much. I don't think the Obama campaign will tape out, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think everybody knows at this point about Jeremiah Wright. They know about Bill Ayers. They know about the tape if they watch cable television. And I don't think that stuff matters very much. You know, last night there was a 30-minute infomercial with Barack Obama that was aimed at the so-called, you know, undecideds. You know, by the way, if you're undecided this late in the game, you're not a moderate. You're a clueless. But I don't think those people care about these things. I just don't think, I don't think it matters to them.
Right.
And those are the only ones who are still up for grabs.
Right, and in fact, it looks like the polls say they don't like this business about heirs and Reverend Wright and so on. They don't want to hear about that. It seems like, if you believe the Fox News polls, what they care about is the economy, and perhaps Joe the plumber is having an effect on this race. I'll give you a quick final word, Bernie.
I think there's a whole segment of the population, a big segment, that cares very much about these things, and a whole other segment, which includes the undecideds and the mainstream media, that doesn't care about these things.
Bernie Goldberg, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here as always.
Thank you.
I got it crazy to the left of